Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Malys. It is a roguelike. Yeah, I'm keeping that in. It's a roguelike deck builder made by Summerfall Studios, the people behind Stray Gods, which my wife really liked last year, but never got around to actually covering it. But it's made by some. I'm going to say it. From what I know, Summerfall is it's a small indie studio made up of some like real industry heavy hitters that decided to go independent. And this game dropped as a complete surprise back at the end of June, and I'd missed it. They'd send me an email, and I just like, I get 50 emails a day. It's easy to miss them. But yeah, I'd actually been looking forward to this for a while, so I was looking at my Steam wishlist of like, hey, you know, what should I pick up from the Steam Summer Sale? Wait, Malys is out, and that's it. So we're gonna dive in. So you grasp in the darkness for your artifact. Ooh, so you are a priest turned demon hunter. Purging demons from your city. It seems like it's more kind of modern fantasy. So choose an artifact. Ancient Tome, Early Access. Holy Book brings you peace. Restore 10 will at the end of every exorcism. Looks like this is the only one I got. Well, alright. Let's see how this goes.
This is no ordinary city. No bustle of traffic, no lights, no music, no laughter. Eyes watch from the shadows. Things crawl in the darkness. The sound of heavy wings.
Oh, that was short. Oh, wasn't expecting to see you here. I've been awaiting your arrival. I'd met this particular celestial being on more than one occasion. Perhaps they were even my guardian angel. That would certainly account for their interest in me. Though they didn't do much guarding. I bit my tongue right before this and it's messing with me. More watching and mocking. I had an uneasy feeling I was in for more of the same. I don't suppose you'd tell me your name this time, I asked. I guess I shouldn't be as husky for this one. As I told you before, I've had a multitude of names. The smirk played across the edges of their mouth. Would you like me to recount them all to you? I sighed. Angel it is then. Angel chuckled, high and light. You've come so far already, tonight. And yet you're so much further to go before the sun rises. Further than you realize. Typical, enigmatic, holier-than-thou bullshit. Didn't help that angels were, in fact, holier than thou. Are you gonna help me then, for once? But I've already helped you, Noah. They paused, making a showing of mock surprise at my scowl. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you prefer Father Noah? Not for a long time, no. I was curious what they meant by already helping me. Celestials were masters at not telling you the whole truth. But it wasn't their name. It wasn't in their nature to outright lie. Instead, they'd laugh at your efforts to piece together half-truths. So, asking what they meant by that was going to get me nowhere. Just tell me where he is. That's all the help I need. Angels stared at me for a moment, cocking their head like a bird. Then, without a word, they lifted their hand and pointed out into the city, ahead into the darkness. Thanks for nothing, I growled under my breath. I expect no thanks for what I do, they said, completely serious for the first time. Then they spread their angelic wings. With an effortless leap, they were off into the black sky and gone. I didn't bother to wait to see if they'd return. With that, I rode on. My hunt had begun. I hope they actually go through over the course of early access and give this proper voice acting. It feels like it would fit. I'm not usually one for modern fantasy, but I'm always curious with, I mean, especially considering the pedigree of their previous game. Wow, there's a lot here. I really should pick my path. The main issue is, I really like it in these games. Ooh, it's a little loud. Loud enough that I need to turn it down? Yeah, I'm gonna dump it down to 50. See, demon, lesser demon, region boss. So these are all lesser demons. So this is an elite fight, presumably. We also have angels. I don't know what those do. There's one over here. So I could fight multiple demons if I go up the right side. If we go this way, we can also see Gideon or Lydia. I don't know. There's a lot of demons if I go up the right. There's a, you know what? Screw it. Who cares, right? Where I'm going? I'm gonna fight I'm going to just go straight up for now. I'd like to plan these things out, but I literally don't know what I'm doing. I approached a small building which might have once been an office or a storefront. I'm not sure which. Now it was mostly empty and abandoned, the windows long ago smashed to bits, making entry easy. And I did so, only because I caught the faint sense of the infernal from somewhere within. It wasn't long before I found a set of dark stairs leading down into the darkness. The lower floor opened up into what was probably an old laundry room, filthy and deserted. It smelled of mildew and must. Then I noticed it wasn't as deserted as I thought. Huddled around a bare, stained mattress were several young men and women. They're all wrapped in blankets as if freezing, completely covered, moaning in deep pain. And one of them, a young man with an unnaturally bloated stomach, lay in the center. His breath came in hoarse gasps. A demon crouched deep in his soul. Time to drive it out. Oh, continue. Alright. That's cool. So, in order to play cards, you need to light candles. To burn... need to light candles. To burn a card, select one from your hand, target the burn area. Confirm with drag and click, and one candle will ignite. You can light up to 3 candles. Lit candles roll over to your next turn. The cost of each card is shown in the top left corner, indicating how many candles need to be lit to play it. Once you have enough candles lit, select the card you want to play and choose a target. Okay. When your will is depleted, your journey ends. You can protect yourself and your allies with Ward. Build Ward to protect yourself from an attack. Coming next turn, Ward will reset. Unless combined with Fortify. Okay, this is pretty familiar. Some demons are powerful enough to be hidden when you encounter them. To reveal a demon, you must destroy the runes, hiding the demon's true name. When all runes are destroyed, you may compel the demon into revealing itself by speaking its name to expose it at the end of your turn, beginning the Endure phase. When dealt enough damage during the Endure phase, the demon will be vulnerable enough to be expelled, beginning the Expel phase. During this, the host will be at risk. Powerful actions by the demon will come at the cost of the host's will. You must protect the host, or your journey will come to an end. Alright, so Jackal Demon, 48 will. Intent debuff. And then this is the host. So they have Ward and Will. Oh, I see. Okay, so what do we have? Compel, 6 damage. The Priest, summon the Priest, consume. 1 damage to the demon when a card is played with cost of 1 or below. Alright. It's not doing anything to me. Then I think we summon the Priest. And then... oh, looks like we can keep going. Cool. So I've been debuffed. Let's see. Play your turn. Cackle. Each stack of cackle you accumulate will increase damage dealt to you during certain demon attacks. So it's going to hit me for 6. Draw 3 cards. 6 damage, 6 damage. 6 ward. 4 damage, apply shackle. Okay, I'm going to burn collect yourself. I'm going to do 4 damage and apply shackle.
Speak now to the host, so lost in shame and despair. Hear my voice.
Okay, so that means he's going to do less damage to me. And then let's burn a compel. And then keep compelling. Okay. I like this system, so it's still very much using your standard Slay the Spire format, but I do like the fact that the cards that you play are much more dynamic, more or less. Okay, so it is doing a debuff. So it looks like it just keeps stacking Cackle until it can hit me. The one thing I'm not liking is how small my cards are. I think I'm just going to collect myself 3 times, and we're just going to compel the heck out of this dude.
Listen not to the dark whispers. Believe you are cherished.
But yeah, I like it when the energy system isn't hard. I would say that this is a soft energy system, one that can be modified and twisted. Okay, so it would be hitting me. However, I'm not going to let it do that. Let's just hit him with a compel, and then I'll figure out what the plan is here.
Evil festers no more.
Okay, it's toast. So we get some faith, and we choose a card. Draw a card, add pocket to 1 card in hand. I do like God's Hand, so let's pick that one, I think. I don't want to pick too many cards because we are going to fill up and that's going to be bad. As soon as I heard the screaming, I began running, towards it, not away from it. It was the sound of someone in such agony, their cries twisted into something raw and animalistic. And I knew what that meant. I was already inside when I realized I'd run into an underground parking garage. Dark and abandoned, drips of foul water running down the concrete walls. Pools tainted with gasoline into sickening rainbow colors. The smell of old sweat and grime, and the screaming. I had to figure out where it was coming from. Down and down I ran. The only cars I saw were never going to leave here ever again, rusted and still. The screaming echoed from below, occasionally sliding into desperate gasps for air, followed by a keening wail that raised the hair on my arms. Then I saw her, a woman crouched in a back corner, covered in deep scratches up and down her arm. Covered in slick sweat and blood and mucus. "Get it out!" she gasped. "Get it out!" She began scratching frantically at her shirt, tearing it. "Now stay calm," I warned her, and stopped a few feet away and got up my pack. Suddenly she stopped scratching. With a shudder, like something dark was welling up from inside, she became calm. A slow smile spread across her face. "Oh, I am calm, Noah," said a deep voice that came from down her throat and layered with her own. "Are you calm? Calm enough for this?" I started unpacking my candles. The voice inside the woman began to laugh, and the sound of it echoed off the concrete walls until it reverberated in my head. "You won't be laughing long," I swore to myself. Okay, so we have to attack its sigils. So, we do actually have God's Hand. I could summon the priest again as well. I should have 4. We don't know its intent. Okay, rather than doing God's Hand, we're going to do the priest.
We will prevail, my friend.
And we're just going to do some damage to that. Yeah, I can take some damage. I heal 10 anyway. Okay, so let's start with a compel God's Hand. Burn both compels. Speak thy name. And then arcane shield on myself. Because the priest can keep just plonking it. Okay, we take no damage. Burn collect yourself into God's Hand. Speak thy name again. Alright, so that should reveal it. Reveal. The many as one endure. Okay.
Back to the pits.
So it summons some friends. Okay, so this is going to be fly split from the swarm. We also have that. Burn collect yourself. I want to start by compelling the one of those just to see what happens. Okay, so you can take them out.
I call upon the ancient powers of thy dormant, Haru and Gunore.
I think I'm just going to do an arcane shield on myself. Do some damage. Okay, so it's shielding itself, and the fly's actually almost dead for some reason. Well, I ain't complaining about that. Arcane shield to God Hand.
And have always fought against the most ancient of evils.
Compel to take out the flies. And if he's not hitting me, then we can just hit him the rest of the way. I like their commitment to the whole demon exorcism thing, and the demons look freaking rad. Okay, so what is it doing now? Debuffing. I can work with that. Wait, hold up. Collect yourself actually is quite good. So if it's not hitting me... Yeah, I didn't think about this. But collect yourself pays for itself.
Most glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer.
And if I can ever reduce the price of that, I can actually make that fairly good. Okay, so what's it doing? Did 20 damage. Didn't seem to do anything. Okay, it is now summoning friend. I can kind of work with that, though. I think we just take all of these and just compel the hell out of it.
Those who stand within the holy light, be solemn and bear witness.
I might have to turn off the voice acting, even if it's like good vibe. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think I give a hoot.
They be innocent. Give them the strength they need to endure.
I think we just take out the many as one.
Let them repel the foul.
And we can expel it. Okay, here we go. I should have taken out some of them. It's fine. Okay, so it's doing another debuff. I don't actually know if the swarms do anything. As flies split from the host swarm, they accumulate increased damage dealt to you during certain demon attacks. I see. I don't think they're aiming at me, so...
Those who stand within the holy light, be solemn and bear witness.
I think I'm just going to work on taking out their goons first. So, the one thing I'm... Oh, boy. So that skill's probably based on how many flies they have. Burn an arcane shield. Into a compel. Take that out. They don't know who it's aiming for is the one question. But yeah, since there were no flies, it didn't do anything. Alright, let's just burn all three of those. And just start compelling the heck out of this one. So the one complaint I'm going to potentially levy against this game. This is going to be one of the longer roguelike deck builders, I think. In terms of its, like... how long the runs go. Oh. He gave me flies. It just doesn't matter. We get 30 faith, and we get a card. Apply 1 doubt to all enemies with shackle. This UI is a little small. Deal 3 light, draw 2 cards, miracle. So if it's added to your hand after the beginning of your turn, it's free to play that turn. Deal 13 damage to all enemies. When this card is burnt, deal 6 damage to everyone. Oh, that includes me, probably. 3 light. When dealt to a player, allies, or host, restores will. Oh. Next card burned is duplicated and added to the discard pile. Consume in miracle. I like the idea of potentially doing hold your ground. And I'll do reputation precedes me. I have no idea if I got both of those or not. Okay. So the one problem with the demons is they do not actually give, they don't give relics or anything, so to some degree, we're actually incentivized to not fight as much. So we kind of want to stay left. Yeah, I think we just stay left. see what happens. Hopefully there's a good card upgrade system. A lonely convenience store, interchangeable with any other in the city. Dim fluorescent lights, smudged windows, and faded signs are cheerfully declared sales. Oh, faded signs that cheerfully declared sales for things no one needed or wanted. The single tired employee puttered around within, but the weak infernal presence I detected wasn't coming from him. No, it was here, outside, somewhere in the empty lot. I began to look, preparing myself for anything. It wasn't until I went around the back, where a collection of garbage bins and trash lined up along a wooden fence, where I found it. There, hanging out from the largest limb of a small tree, was a young boy. Though he was surely dead at first, since he was so... Oh, I thought he was surely dead at first, since he was so still, just swaying a bit in the breeze. His face swollen and purple. He was hung by a skipping rope, and I got him down, only to find him breathing. Barely. And a chuckling demon lurking deep within. It's a pitiful thing, and I already knew its name. So it's another jackal demon. So we have Hold Your Ground. I'm going to toast that. We're not going to be able to use it. Let's see. It is just doing a debuff. So in that case, let's burn those, get the priest out. Burn a compel, hit the jackal demon. Yeah, so we get a cackle, but that's fine. Okay. So we have a couple of things. He is going to be hitting me. Let's do collect yourself to God's... Do we do God's Hand? I did do a decent amount of damage, but I might want to try other things. So, yeah, I think we don't do God's Hand here. It would do some damage, but I think we don't want to. You speak thy name followed by reputation precedes me. So that gives him more shackle and doubt. Oh. Interesting. Not sure if I care too deeply for that one. And then I'm just going to burn the compel. For now. Okay, so let's burn Hold Your Ground. And it's doing a debuff.
I call upon the watchers, those who stand in the shadows.
I think I'm just going to wail on him for now.
Hear me now. Cast out this infernal infestation.
So the one thing I'm going to have to do is probably remove some cards from my lineup. Okay, because yeah, reputation precedes me. I actually don't really want at all.
I command you to be gone.
Because I'd prefer enemies to be aiming at me. Choose a card. All cards burn for 2 candles this turn. 6 Warden, 3 Oath. Yourself, allies, and host. Miracle. Add 3 glow if there's an existing stack of glow on the target. Problem is I don't know what that is. Let's go with the powers that be, just because that actually is useful. And manageable. Stuff that consumes I can keep, but I think a lot of other stuff I don't care too deeply for. There's an old bookstore, the kind with a sign that cheerily welcomed you to come on in. But the inside was anything but welcoming. It was dark and dreary, dust and cobwebs on every surface, and no one behind the little desk in the front even to say hello. Somewhere within I could sense a weak demonic presence. For almost an hour's search, however, I found nothing more than dust and echoes. Yet I could see all the traces of small footsteps on the floor. I saw wrappers strewn about, as well as small toys. Someone was here. Italics. A child, apparently. And just when I stopped and leaned against the desk to think, a small hand reached out from underneath and touched my knee. Tag, the young boy announced. His voice was deep and a sonorous growl. Leave the child be, I said, and prepared to save him. Oh, Dark Thought is a new one. Flower. Okay, let's take a look at this sucker. Increases max will by 2 every turn, explodes on death. Ooh. Yarp. Okay. Starting with that one. Burn that. Turns out I don't like it that much. Okay, Dark Thought's not doing anything useful. So then we burn that. Get the priest out. Burn that for a bit more. I don't think we have much to worry about. So this guy just summons flowers, probably. No, he is going to attack me. Tricky.
Hear me now. Cast out this infernal infestation. Gone with you.
Oh. Causing damage equal to its max will. Oh, shoot.
Deliver us, Almighty above, that we may serve in peace.
That's rough. Oh, so it attacks its allies.
Deliver us from this tyranny, from the grip of this unclean and unworthy spirit.
I'm actually gonna just bank that for the next turn. Because 4 damage and shackle isn't gonna help too much. Okay, so this was not perfect. And yeah, I like the idea of hold your ground, but I need to have less cards.
So we may crush this evil and drive it back to the pit whence it came. Behold the light, thing of darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble before.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, there's another flower, but I think we could just take this toaster out beforehand. Okay, I'm actually going to do collect thyself. No. Well, it's fine. I'm so reflexive about putting it over there. I was going to actually do that to see if I could draw the miracle card, but I oopsied. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. Apply Wrath. Deal more damage per stack. So that one's actually extremely good. I think I'm going to have to grab that one. But then I really need to stop grabbing cards. Let's go see non-fights. I was riding my motorcycle down the street when I suddenly spotted a familiar figure in an alleyway, so I pulled the bike over and walked back, half expecting that figure would be gone by then. But no, Angel stood there in the shadows, bold as you please, eyeing me warily. "You're following me," I accused. They nodded, "Yes," and then stood there, arms crossed, refusing to elaborate. "Dare I ask why?" I sighed. "You dare many things, not least of which is flouting the wishes of the highest, and thus placing your mortal soul into peril." A smirk slowly crossed Angel's lips, their eyes filling with mischief. "But in this case, go ahead." I wanted to bash my head against a wall. Instead, I gritted my teeth. "Aren't you afraid of being seen?" I asked instead. Looking around the street, there were no passers-by, but there could have been. "Afraid? No. None shall see me that I do not wish to see me." "So you wanted me to see you?" "Of course." "Alright, I'll bite. Why?" Angel sighed, inspecting their fingernails as if the encounter were suddenly boring to them. "Your hunt is going to put you in great danger, Noah." "Maybe not just yet, but soon the demons will test your mortal will, meager and fleeting as it is. It's truly reckless how readily you put it at risk. And you're here to, what, provide a running commentary on the health of my... Oh, and you're here to, what, provide a running commentary on the health of my soul? Not at all, I offer succor." That gave me pause. Healing from this celestial being. They didn't seem to be the type. "And you'll do that in exchange for..." "Faith," they declared with a smile. "Proof that you possess it proof that you possess it at all. Proof that you deserve my aid." Typical hand over faith, like it was made of coins I could collect just by reaching into my soul. Yet I didn't doubt that, with Angel, it was indeed possible. It appeared my faith was about to be sorely tested on the night to come, assuming the Angel was correct, and I'd need healing. Considering how normally I took, or how I normally took long and needed rest after every exorcism. But tonight, I'd be likely doing many, and they were probably right. Much as I hated them being right. Fine, I grunted. I'll only find you, if I need your help. Oh, I'll be around, Angel chuckled. The same high and light chuckle I'd heard when I had arrived in the city. It's like a little girl's, and it set my teeth on edge. And if you're not around when I need you, they shrugged. Why then you'll die, Noah, like mortals often do. Suppose it was something. More help than I expected from this particular being, to be honest. So we can heal Will or upgrade a card. Let's upgrade a card. So if I upgrade the priest, cheaper. It's okay. Looks like it can only upgrade one thing. Collect Yourself, cheaper. So that actually makes Collect Yourself extremely good. God Hand does way more damage per card. That's quite good. Deal 7 light damage, draw 2. Still a miracle, nothing better. What about this one? Cheaper. I think I'm going to do Collect Yourself, because that actually makes it a net positive, and then we leave. So it looks like 60 faith per. Okay, we'll have to see about Lydia and Gideon as well. I hope they don't all take faith. I entered what had perhaps been a police station. Now it was dark and deserted, the smell of death thick in the air. Whatever happened here happened long ago. Old terror and despair mingled together, tickling my senses as I stepped out onto the dusty floor. The infernal was near. I steeled myself and sought it out. As I walked through the station, I found desiccated corpses, some in tattered remains of a uniform, some not. All had pieces of their body missing, chunks of purple flesh chewed off. Then I found him, a thin, elderly man crouched over a long dead corpse, gently chewing on his thin flesh. On its thin flesh, the sound was grotesque. I can't stop. Oh, wait, I can't stop, he murmured, his eyes wide in terror. The demon within him was pathetic, just enough to keep its control. You can't hide your name from me, demon, I said. Continue. Alright, headless. Gross. Okay, so we have powers to be let's see, hold your ground. We got some... Oh yeah, this is good. So, all cards burn for 2. So let's do collect your thoughts. Draw some extra. Let's see, it's doing 10 shields and it has head. 1 wrath demon for each instance of unblocked damage dealt to the demon. Alright, how do we want to do this? I might as well do that for now. It's only going to do 10 damage. 10 damage is good.
As wax melts before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of faith.
Some of the priest. Burn compel. I'm actually going to heal myself. Yeah, can't recite the passages. And then I'll do a compel.
This is the hour of our need. This is the hour of our dread.
Okay, end turn. That's kind of good. Okay, so I could do doubt to all enemies. We definitely want to do speak thy name.
Our voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
So that takes his damage down by a bit. Really feel like doing that one. So the main question here is, do I want to do recite the passages, give myself a little bit of damage even if it doesn't do too much? No, probably not. Because he's going to do half damage. Okay, so let's collect our thoughts. And then He's doing 6. Probably could have actually just used that one in retrospect. Oh well. God's hand. I want to try and take this sucker out. Oh, its shield disappeared.
Hear our call.
Okay, there we go.
Drive out the evil before us.
Ward on self. Should be good. Yeah, that extra card draw. Wait, that... Oh, it's 2 times 3, not 3 times 2. Alright. Oh, did we... Was that the Faith one? Might have been. Unfortunately, I can't check my discard, which is honestly kind of silly. Okay, so we've actually got some time here to do stuff. So let's recite the passages. And so I get a Wrath. Now let's just take that thing out. Because Wrath, I'm assuming, just sticks around. So that's a just +1 damage forever. Well, forever for the rest of this fight. So let's do
Deliver us, Almighty above, that we may
that.
serve in peace and liberty.
I'm going to burn Recite the Passage and Compel. Because we should do Hold Your Ground.
Deliver us from this tyranny, from the grip of this unclean and
Burn both of
unworthy
those.
spirit.
Alright, where the heck was I? Let's see. This is... Oh, this is actually attacking me, so I should probably tank up here. There we go. My wife needed to be let indoors, and then it was conversation time, and oh, I forgot to unmute the game. I'm a mess. There we go. Okay, so first and foremost, as usual, reputation precedes me. Collect yourself. The Headless itself is pretty weak. Oh, it does have Wrath, though. So that's actually kind of good to know. I mean, we might as well burn the Compels. We don't need them at the moment. I could do a Hold Your Ground. There's Speak Thy Name, which is kind of what I was hoping for. Burn Compel, Speak Thy Name. I think we just do these two. It's not going to hit me. Burn that for next turn. Because, yeah, it's going to be hitting me for... Yeah, 2 damage a pop. And then we can take him out the rest of the way.
Who fight and have always fought against the most ancient of evils.
Alright, just torch him a bunch. Unfortunately, this doesn't have the best flow, I'm noticing. Some roguelike deck builders let you just, like, stack a bunch of powers and abilities, like, really quick. Or cards in short sequence. Doesn't work here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I want any of those, and skip. The problem with cards being offered is that I literally do not want most of them. Let's go this direction. The problem with more cards is it just stacks my deck and doesn't really benefit me in any way, shape, or form. And so, like, card rewards have always been kind of garbage in roguelike deck builders. And I get it that, like, it's supposed to give you more options, but without the ability to remove other cards, it just ends up feeling counterproductive. I have a lot of complaints about the roguelike deck builder genre. I feel like I should actually make that into a video. I have one already almost done, I just need to finish it. Nightclub. The nightclub is the kind of dimly lit, smoky place that one would find the worst of humanity. You could hear the low whispering, seated in the shadows, just out of sight, voices barely carrying over the music. The music itself, I was expecting jazz, something deep and swank, to pair nicely with the tang of cigarettes and alcohol, but this had a strangely alien feel to it, sonorous, crawling along the skin, seeping into your soul. I couldn't identify where it was coming from, only that it had the ability to either keep you out or invite you inside. Must have invited me, for I suddenly realized I couldn't recall coming inside. I was simply here. Looked for a place to sit. Maybe there was an act to listen to, I figured, or a proprietor with an eye for the odd or unusual arrival. I barely sat down when I learned it was the latter. A woman emerged from the recesses of the club, sauntering over to my table with a glint in her eye that spoke of mischief. She had dark skin and a darker dress, as well as a warmth to her. An aura that made her feel more vivid than almost anyone I'd encountered in the city so far. I was instantly mesmerized. You're new here, she said with a grin, taking a long and casual drag from her cigarette holder. That doesn't sound like a question. Her grin widened. It's not. She could tell I was sizing her up warily. While I thought she was delighting in the attention, I slowly realized she was sizing me up right back. The name's Lydia. This is my place and you're out of your depth, stranger. I was about to protest that I'd been invited, that I felt invited, but she waved an elegant hand to cut me off. In the city, she chuckled. Not in the club. Here, you're welcome. Ah, then my name is Noah. Noah. Lydia seemed almost to taste the name, rolled it around in her mouth as if it held a fascination, all on its own. She took another long drag, her eyes sharpening as she continued her appraisal. There was a power in them, I realized. I could feel a hint of the arcane that clung to her, strong and eldritch. This woman was much, much more than she seemed. I can help you, Noah. It felt as if she'd come to some kind of decision. In fact, we can help each other, if you're willing. One can never be too careful in a city such as this, after all. What kind of help do you need exactly, I asked, my suspicions growing. Let's start with your faith, she said slightly. You have it to spare, and it's as good in my hands as any others. In exchange, I'll give you access to my store of charms and potions, things I expect you to find quite useful on your journey. Ah yes, one more thing. One more being in this city who wants to barter for my faith. And what do you know of my journey, I asked. Only a little. Return anytime and tell me more about it if you like. She turned and walked away, her hips swaying to the rhythm of the music. You can talk more then about the help I need. I had a drink and left, wondering who this Lydia was and what I got myself into. So, store owner, which is unfortunate for me. When a volatile card is burnt, first card burned every turn burns for an additional one. That actually would have been good. When the host takes damage, you take equal damage. When you heal, the host heals. That would be nice if I had money. Okay, so stay away from her, unless I have a ton of cash. I'd probably say 110. 150 would be the sweet spot, but still. Yeah, the one problem I'm having with this is I love all of this lore and dialogue. My fear is, if I replayed this game, would I reread these every time? This is such good, like, flavor text and writing, somewhat wasted on a roguelike deck builder format. I don't know if wasted is the right term. Is that the Slay the Spire format works really well at pace. Going quickly and speeding through fights and stuff like that. Here it's one of those where, like, this is some of, I don't want to say necessarily David Gator's best work. He was the former lead writer for the Dragon Age series. Like, absolute peak pedigree for writing. The problem is, on a roguelike deck builder, you kind of want to speed past this stuff. I think this would work better if the format was closer to like a Griftland style, where you actually had like a mini campaign, rather than just like your standard Slay the Spire format. The motel room smelled terrible, like death. It's not a stench I can easily describe, but it's true what they say, you never forget it. The room looked empty, but it didn't feel empty. I heard whispers, the soft ch-ch-ch that the motel management or the guests might assume to be old paper. I knew better. Anytime I walk into a room like this, I first notice the bed. This one had a tall oak headboard. The bleached white sheets were pulled taut and tucked under. The wallpaper was garish, mid-century orange pumpkins, an old-fashioned well with a spinning wheel, repeated every few feet. Stayed at worse places, I thought. Then whispers got louder. A rushing wave that surged to a shrill scream like the wail of a tea kettle, and then silence. I paused, took it in. The scream had been muffled. like it was coming from one room over, but no, this is definitely from somewhere inside the room. I could feel the infernal pressure here. I just had to find the source. There weren't many places to look. I checked the bathroom, but it had nothing more than a rusty tub and a used bar of soap. The closet was empty, save for those hangers that go all the way around so you can't steal them. Then the whispers returned. I followed the sound back to the main room. They were coming from the bed. Shh, shh, shh. They grew louder and louder, developing again into that god-awful screech. I'd already noted that the bed was made. No room for anything under those tight covers. What I was facing here had to be under the bed. I bent down and looked, but it seemed that there was no under the bed. The mattress was laid on top of it. On top of a built frame attached to the floor, 3 wooden panels which I suddenly realized must be hollow. The sounds were coming from inside. With considerable effort, I pushed off the mattress. I was frustrated to find that it rested on a flat sheet of solid wood, which itself sat on the frame. I knocked on it. It sounded hollow. Shh, shh, shh. The whispers began again. A sense of unbelievable urgency washed over me, and I pulled the wood panel until its nails loosened and splintered at the seams. There was a crack in the wood box now. It was so dark inside. From within the darkness, the eyes of a frightened woman peered out at me. "You found me," she whispered, her voice raw from days, perhaps weeks of screaming. Realized it wasn't her speaking, of course. It was the demon. In the darkness of the wooden box, I could make out the woman's shape, thin to the point of rails, emaciated. She looked like a living corpse, and I wonder how long she'd been there, trapped. "Go away," she whispered. "Let us rot in peace." I would do no such thing. Like, because this is a roguelike deck builder, I feel like I can't quite give this the gravitas it really deserves. Which is kind of a downer, because, I don't know, like, it's actually extremely good. Okay, so we want to do, yeah, burn this, give me 2. Collect yourself, give me a couple more. Burn that. So this is a greater demon, so this could be anything. Burn God's Hand, we're not going to be using it here. I don't know if it's going to be hitting me, so I'm going to actually give myself a bit of ward, burn that, get the priest out, and then burn Compel. There we go. Okay, got me with a shackle instead. You know, I can work with that. Reputation precedes me. Do I do recite the passages? I think so. I wonder if I actually gave the priest the extra strength, if that would be better. I think it would be, in retrospect. Oh well. You don't necessarily know what it's doing to me, so I figured I'd just kind of wait. Looks like it just really wants to shackle me. I mean, all things considered, I can manage that. So the main question is, do I actually want to use God's Hand? I suppose. Yeah, I wanted to recite the passages. At least we can reveal what it is. It is Dysthemia. Okay, so it doesn't have that much HP. What the heck is going on here? Leeches, oh gosh, okay. Leeches 3 will from the player every turn. When it dies, its max will be absorbed into the demon's max will. Okay. So this is going to hurt a smidge. And then we need to kill all of these things. Okay, let's start with collect yourself. Burn reputation precedes me. God's Hand to harm one of these guys. Okay. Much as I'd like to do recite the passages here. I mean... no, it's not worth it.
Call upon the knights that stand in the morning light.
Right, and I'm still shackled. So that makes this kind of tricky. That's why it had such little HP.
Evil cannot endure.
Oh, it actually killed one of them. Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay, as usual, hold your ground. I don't think I've ever actually managed to pull that off. To get the free trick. Well, we don't have too much. It is hitting me with a debuff, which is probably Shackle again, which is annoying. They're only going to hit me for 6.
Behold the light, thing of darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble before me.
Okay, I think what I'm going to do is probably just burn all of my wards, give myself some defense. Oh, I guess I only needed to do that once. What does that do? Wow, that's rude. I guess no reason for me to worry about stacking up. Okay. All things considered, if this is going to be extremely slow, let's just collect ourselves. Okay, so we get hold your ground, heal ourselves.
We will overcome. We will
That's what I was
persevere.
hoping for.
The blessed will drive you from our hearts.
Okay, it is going to be hitting me. It's only hitting me for 5. So if I do the 2 arcane shields, we don't need to worry about it. The thing I'm actually going to do, recite the passages.
As wax melts before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of faith.
Though I still do wonder if I should actually be buffing the priest. Because I wonder if I can actually get it so the priest is doing 2 or 3 damage
Another
per.
minion falls.
Yeah, I'm just going to let this thing absorb the minions. It doesn't seem to hurt me. Okay. Let's see, it's doing a debuff.
I speak now to the host, so lost in shame and despair. Hear my voice. Know you are loved. Listen not
There
to
we
the
go.
dark whispers.
Maybe we
Believe
can just
you are
wait.
cherished.
Like, it's gonna get more, but so far this thing hasn't been too much of a danger to me. Okay, so we are gonna be taking some damage. So let's burn Compel. Collect yourself. We didn't go to what I was looking for. Keep burning the Compels. Yeah, because there's Hold Your Ground, which I can use. There's no reason not to, really.
Cast off the lie. Deny it. Refuse it. Reject it. Hear my voice and return to the light.
So, main question here is... burn that, recite the passages.
Those who stand within the holy light, be solemn.
I'll take a smidge of damage here, but like, not enough to be a worry. Actually, we take no damage. Alright, so now that it's eaten all of its buddies, is it going to be summoning more of them? Because that was kind of my one consideration here. Alright, I should remember to burn that. Yeah, let's give him faith. Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. So I think in retrospect, as silly as it is, it might actually be better for me to give the priest the faith. Or the wrath. Let's see.
I humbly prostrate myself before the elders' powers, whose whispers still echo.
Now, am I better off? I guess it doesn't really matter, no.
Spirit, this thing of wickedness.
Yeah, there we go. Because, yeah, the priest attacks every time I play a one-cost card. And so unless I'm going for multi-hit cards, there's literally no reason for me to ever use it.
Grant us thy protection, grant us thy mercy. Smite this evil before me.
Okay, let's just burn those.
Speak now
And just
to
compel the
those
heck out of this one.
lost in shame and despair. Hear my voice.
Okay.
Know you are loved. Listen not to the dark.
So now we're on to the expel phase.
Believe you are cherished.
Siphon buff. No? Never mind a debuff. Okay. Burn compel. Collect yourself. I guess we might as well recite the passages.
Cast off the liar. Deny it. Refuse it. Reject it.
Okay, I
Hear
can
my
burn
voice
both of
and
those.
return to the light. This
Probably would have been better off casting other things, but that's okay.
is the hour of our dread.
I just need more cheap draw, if I can snag it. Okay, so it's given itself some wrath and is attacking me. I don't think we do any more recite the passages. I think too late for that now. And that's okay. Heal myself to full.
And cast into the wind.
Okay. Do we do reputation precedes me? Yeah. I mean, we effectively just want to priest nuke this guy. Let's burn a compel so I can do... Should have started with God's hand in retrospect.
I command you, O wicked serpent, O deceiver of innocence.
There we go.
Leave this innocent and be gone.
Yeah, note to self, start priest cycling. It's apparently very good. Okay, so what do we have? 13 damage if 3 candles are lit, instead deals 7 light. Sacrifice 5 will, 2 glow to the target. I don't know what glow does. Add salt cards to your hand. Salt does 3 damage, causes 0 candles. I think I might actually want to grab Salt Prison. Oh. What? No! I didn't mean to grab that one. I forgot demons give you 2 cards. Alright, we're going mini. We're going mystery. As I walked up to a rather small and simple church, I was startled by the sound of banging coming from within. I shivered as I thought the worst. The destruction of sacred property, gunshots, a demonic presence playing crucifixion. Following the sun inside, I discovered that the source was a young priest, standing on a stepladder, fixing what looked like an anchor to the wall opposite the altar. I was relieved and thankful that there was no one else inside to see me burst in, full of concern. Walked up behind the young priest, hoping he would hear my approach through the noise. Hello, I said. He couldn't. He immediately began to wobble on the ladder, surprised by my sudden greeting. Reached out and steadied the ladder, but I couldn't steady the man, and he took a hell of a tumble down to the floor. Christ on a cracker, you scared me, he said with a wry grin, standing and checking each limb for injury one by one. Thought I'd locked the front entrance. I wasn't expecting anyone, not for a while. I didn't normally start by telling people about my past, but here, with this man, it seemed appropriate. I'm Noah. I was once a priest myself. Oh, so we can choose a card, 30 faith, or choose a card. I think I'm gonna just go for the faith. I don't know why it's asking me to skip rewards. It felt like I missed some things there. Oh well. Confession. An old church. Icons of saints holding their own heads. Gold paints on a wooden filigree. I don't know what compelled me to enter the confessional. I just did it, like I had to do it. I kneeled on the crimson pillar at the window, where I could see a figure of a man through a perforated screen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the priest said. His voice is deep as hell itself. Amen. What brings you to confession today? The priest asked. The next line in the script. The next rote step towards forgiveness. My line next. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I don't know when my last confession was. I understand, my son, he responded. The blessed sacrament of confession awaits all children of God, be it absolution for yesterday's sins or the sins of decades past. Called me his son. I hated when priests did that. It's so patronizing. I don't know what to confess. I lost track of my sins a long time ago. I waited for what I knew the priest would say. My sins, great and small, remain in my heart. God knows them, and if I'm truly sorry, he'll forgive me. When he finally spoke, though, he sounded furious. What do you think you're doing? Noah said. Noah, the priest said, fire disdain under every word. Did you really think I'd hear your confession and everything would be like it was? Do you know what you've done just by being here? Or just by coming here? That last sentence, he sounded less angry and almost scared of me. Wait, who are you? I stammered. I don't understand. How do you know my name? God knows who you are, he hissed. God knows what you've done. There's no absolution for you. No forgiveness. Get out. Go. Slammed shut the sliding panel and left me there. Got off my knees and walked out. No one noticing, not once looking back to see the priest, who the priest was, or if he was watching. He was right. I shouldn't have come here. It almost feels like they wanted to get, like a, ooh. Choose a card or lose will. Okay. Broken will, lose 10 will. Card can be played once per exorcism. It will not be sent to the discard or redrawn. Does this... I'm gonna try it. Does that actually light candles but hurts me? Maybe. I stood outside the motel room, one of those cheap places, a sign declaring long-term rentals, where you walk right up to the door without needing to speak to the clerk. How far am I? Oh god. Am I only like halfway? And this is... It says escape the stacks. I have no idea how long this is. I hate to do this. I think I'm going to leave myself here. I guess we can actually just... I'm going to just skip some dialogue for a bit. I had bit my tongue right as I was starting this video, and it's getting worse in terms of, like, reading all this dialogue. Regular commentary isn't bad, but when I'm actually trying to read dialogue is much, much worse for me. Okay, so what am I even gonna do? We want to get the priest. There's recite the passages, see if I can manage to pull it off. Yeah, add salt cards to the hand. Here's the question, can I burn a salt? I can. Oh, that's amazing. We get the priest out. Then we burn the arcane shield. And the salt. Recite the passages, give him wrath. And then we burn salt. Oh, that salt card is amazing. Like, there's some really good ideas here that I want to play around with. Some really good ideas that I want to see more of. Oh, lose 10 will consume volatile. Oh, I see how that's supposed to work. Let's see, I don't have anything... I actually don't have anything good here. That's kind of unfortunate. I'm just gonna burn that. So I could burn this one and take some damage. Yeah, if I had some shields, I would have used that one. But yeah, I like where this game is going. I think it's got some brilliant mechanics and fun ideas. Okay, so let's dupe Salt Prison, seeing as. I guess I could have duped Hold Your Ground in retrospect. Oh well. Let's see. Do that. Priest should nuke him the rest of the way. Perfect. And now we do the reveal. Okay, if burnt creates copies of itself and applies plague to Noah. Later burnt, card is destroyed. Okay, those who feast. God, I love the illustrations on this game. They're extremely cool. We recite the passages, which is good. If burnt creates 2 copies of self, applies plague. So we don't want to do that. Let's burn that. I think I'm going to do... Oh, it's doing 10 damage to me. I want to recite the passages, but I don't think I possibly can. So we're going to give it weakness.
This is the hour of our dread.
Burn a compel. Recite the will. I'm going to give him the bonus. I'm going to try burning this. It only gives me 1. Okay, so that's seriously not worth it. At least the priest can hit him a couple times, but yeah, this is going to be slightly painful. I think my big, true complaint about this one is a common singular. Largely... Okay, they're ephemeral. Perfect. So I can use the salt, both as burning... and as... yeah, I can use the salt to burn... for resources. Or for attacking. Guess we can burn the arcane shields here more than anything else. God's hand isn't helpful. So I think we just hit him with the salt. Burn God's hand, call it a day. So, I love the writing on this. I love the aesthetic. I love many of these ideas. I think my true remaining, or enduring complaint about this one is very much going to be, I sincerely wish this was not a roguelike deck builder, or that the format was different. The Slay the Spire format, oh, I see, we're on expel. Give me a second. I got some things I can do.
Most glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer.
Okay, burn all the salt. Because I should be burning the infestations before we expel this guy. Oh, am I just getting 3 of these per turn? That's... I'd say that's rough, except for the priest gets stronger constantly. Okay, let's burn both of the compels. We get Salt Prison. We get another Composure. Burn one of these. Or hold your ground. Might as well heal myself up a little bit. Okay, burn the salt. So I can do another Salt Prison. Burn that so I can do an Arcane Shield. So I don't take any damage whatsoever. And honestly, rather than anything else, I think I'm just going to salt this guy. I guess I could have actually charged for a bunch of resources. But each of those does 4 damage, so... Or no, 7 damage. So, I don't know, I could go either way on it. Ow. Okay. I might have to rethink some of these decisions. Keep burning Impel, because we just... It's not good. So I could do a Recite the Passages, if I want to. I think I don't. I think we want to just chuck salt at this guy until he's toast. There we go.
I command you.
Yeah, the strategy works actually quite well. So, okay. The problem with the Slay the Spire format is it's actually really slow. It is not... Let's see. Next play card this turn on top of the pile set its cost is 0. Buy 3 toughness, consume. Unholy Bracers is pretty good. And we don't want anything else. I don't like the fact that elite fights only give... only give cards and faith. Those are nice, but it's like... Relics are kind of what make builds interesting beyond... Okay, I'm just gonna interact with this guy. I'd like to read it, but I'm trying to end this video and also getting distracted because I want to see more. I want to see the boss fight. But the reading the dialogue is gonna slow this down so much more. So yeah, one of my big problems that I consistently have with roguelike deck builders, I can remove a card, thank. because we need to get rid of this. And heck, we probably want to get rid of a couple of things. Yeah, what else is trash? Compel, probably. Powers the Bee isn't... No, Powers the Bee is okay. Reputation precedes me is not great. But at least I can play that one for free. I'm going to lose a Compel. And there goes all my money. This is another problem I'm having with this one, is that this game has like a really strong sense of economy. Except for the fact that, like, you do not get nearly as much as the game demands. And so, interact with the angel again, heal, upgrade a card. Oops, you don't have enough money, continue on. Like, there's so many good ideas packed in here, but we still have... I mean, unless I want to go interact with Lydia a bunch of times, which I realize I kind of don't want to. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... couple more. Like, I guess we can try and race through it. The fights aren't short, though. And the dialogue isn't short, and so much of me wonders, would I actually be better off, or would this game be better off with like a Balatro format? Easy fight, medium fight, boss fight. Easy, medium, medium boss, easy, medium boss. And then in between each and every one of those, you interact with an event or a shop or something that switches your build up, or you know, gives you new cards and stuff like that. That the Book of Prayer duplicated, added to the pile. Ooh. Well, might as well heal myself a little bit. Because I could go for a second priest, but that's extremely silly. I'm going to do Book of Prayer, burn the unholy bracers. Let's get the priest out, as usual. And then I'm just going to do arcane shield, because I don't know what this guy's doing to me, and it seems like they like to attack me when I'm... Yeah. I will say the fights themselves are actually a fairly reasonable amount... Oh no, I'm a fool. Okay, let's do Salt Prison, because Salt Prison is awesome. Okay, recite the passages, give him the Wrath bonus, because also awesome. I could shackle the boss. I might as well, actually. Burn one of the candles. Arcane shield on self. And, you know what, I'm actually gonna just burn the salt for the time being. But like, I love this combat system. It feels good. It's very Slay the Spire, but in a... I don't want to say a slightly more interesting fashion, but it's interesting enough. To make me want to play around with it more and see where it goes. Now, I could go for Recite the Passages, but I think I'm gonna just do an Arcane Shield. I'm in no rush. And yeah, that extra armor from Toughen is extremely good. But my problem is this is taking so long that I would not want to do another run of this anytime soon. And I feel like that's a consistent problem with roguelike deck builders in general. That they are too big for their own good and don't actually let themselves breathe. And so right now, it doesn't really feel like this game is letting itself breathe. It's like if you're reading a book. And this is going to be kind of a bad analogy. I'm fully going to own that. But imagine you're reading a book, and instead of having chapters, it's just one long freaking chapter. And the whole book in one. Why not, right? The problem with that is, like, it's not interesting or exciting. Okay, maybe interesting or exciting isn't exactly the word I'm going for on this one. It's not efficient to have everything jammed into one chapter. Gain doubt, ephemeral, and unburnable. Okay. But I could also just, like, not do anything with it? Wait, did we get another one of these? What? I have no idea. Salt Prison. Belphegor. Looks freaking sick, that's what.
Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
Collect myself. I don't think we're reciting any passages here. I think I want to do Unholy Bracer again, get that cycled. Burn one of these. I guess, in retrospect, it's going to keep clunking my deck. But yeah, removes a stack at the end of the turn. So if I just use it, I gain the doubt, but who cares? It goes away. Well, that makes Belphegor considerably less of a problem. Okay, never mind, he is a problem. Kind of. Okay. You God's Hand. Collect yourself. Burn Compel. Salt Prison. I could kind of go for broke on this one if I want to. But I don't. I'm gonna heal him a smidge. Yeah, have I broken something? Because I duped this, maybe it's not consuming? I have no idea. So he's not attacking me this round. So do we want to recite the passages?
Behold the light, thing of darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble.
Burn that, hit him with salt. Because yeah, it does a debuff. What's it get me with? Wrath. Okay, so everybody's doing the Wrath thing now. That's kind of fine. Give him a shackle.
We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts.
Okay. I don't think he's gonna kill the priest. I'll just hit him twice. There we go. That way I can just take him out in the next turn. Is he just hitting me? Oh, I see. He just has random targets. I getcha. Collect yourself. He's not dead yet? He's not dead yet. God's Hand should do the trick. Oh, right. We're not done yet, though. Keep healing the priest. Torch a couple of those. Recite the passages. I guess I'll give myself a bit of Wrath, just in case I need it. Does Wrath effect deal more damage per stack? I wonder if that applies to light. No, it doesn't. Because I had some Wrath going into that. Maybe we just have more Unholy Bracers, which is extremely silly. Okay, he's doing the buff again. Okay. Just hit him a couple of times. The thing is, we've got this guy pretty close to toast. I just need to go slow. But also, yeah, once again, I just don't think I'm getting to the boss, and holy smokes, he got, Engie. Here's the thing, sir. Eat salt? Like, I love this combat system. I just don't like the format for the exploring, and I do not like the fact that these guys give me 2 cards. Apply toughness, discard hand. But that's like, it costs 3. Why? I mean, Powers the Bee is great. I don't know what Oath does. We could try it. Start of the player's turn, Wisp applies 1 oath to the player. Okay, I guess I'll snag that one, just to see what it looks like. And so, it is one of those where I do wonder if this might have been rushed out a little bit too fast. I'm also running into a couple of small bugs and rough edges that I'm sure will get polished over. I don't think they're that huge of a deal, but it almost feels like this game needed a little bit of a an early playtest I think it would be the way I'd put it. Burn that into salt prison. Burn the salt into Book of Prayer. Burn Hold Your Ground, so hopefully I get a duplicate version of it. Get the priest out.
Is with us.
And then burn that for the extra juice. I'll probably get hit here. And like, maybe all of these things are fine. People who really like this kind of thing are going to have an absolute blast with it, and most of my complaints are kind of nothing. I'm gonna actually wait on that one, I think. We're gonna wait on Powers That Be until we actually have enough. Okay, add 2 Wisp cards to hand. So what does the Wisp do? Summon the Wisp ephemeral. Okay, let's burn Compel. Yeah, I think I'm just going to recite the passages. Summon the other Wisp. Give myself some shields. Burn the other one. If I take some damage, so be it. I've got plenty of healing. Looks like it's just shielding itself, actually. I guess maybe this countdown makes it spookier. Okay, let's start with Powers That Be. Into Hold Your Ground. Into Hold Your Ground. What does Oath do? I have no idea what Oath does, actually. Collect yourself. Yeah, see, this is what I was hoping for. Salt Prison. Burn Compel. Recite the prayers. Boost him. Burn Compel again. Burn... Probably God's Hand, actually. That's a bunch of damage. Burn one of the salt. For Unholy Bracers. Burn salt. Give himself some ward. Give him some shackle. Burn that. And reveal. I think part of the other issue that I could run into is, yeah, see, this is the other problem with making it really long. Like, I could go on and on about why this Slay the Spire map is a terrible mistake. This is actually one of my biggest ones. I do not like the fact that the Slay the Spire map here, Oath, damage dealt to the owner will be evenly split. Oh, I actually hate Oath. That's annoying. I'm like, I can manage it. It's not that big of a deal. Shield myself. Shield him. Gives me a bit of juice, and we're good. But like, we've already fought this elite enemy on this run, like, only a couple of minutes ago. And so the problem I have with this kind of format is that functionally I end up seeing too much. To go back to that bad chapter analogy, imagine if you're reading a book and chapter 13 was the same as chapter 17 for some reason. Like, obviously this is not correct. That's not how this works. Use Salt Prison, because I can burn that into Collect Yourself. I'm gonna just get rid of Recite the Passages for the time being. We might be able to redraw it. I didn't mean to hit that sucker. Slightly annoying. I also really wish the cards were bigger. Like, I wish my health bar was maybe over here, this had moved over, and my cards were larger. Because I'm actually having trouble selecting some of these. There's like a weird stickiness, but also a limitation. I didn't aim at that, thank you. And so I'm finding myself slightly frustrated Not necessarily because any of this is strictly bad, but because it's just rough enough that I am frustrated. I could have probably charged my juice, but this sucker is almost dead and I can take it out next turn. And then we don't have anything to worry about.
You did all you could. Go.
I don't know. It's too much of everything in one act, and if there is another act to that, that means that this is roughly a 6-hour roguelike. And that's... I shouldn't have to explain why a 6-hour roguelike is a bad idea. But the easy way of putting it is that roguelikes shine best, specifically when they are short and replayable, generally. They don't have to be. You can have the longer ones, the Caves of Cuds, for example. Let's see. I don't have to heal anybody. Okay. I'm gonna just do that and hit one of those guys. Unfortunately, the priest can't hit anybody, and I don't know what happens when I expel this guy before he's gotten all of... Okay, I should have shielded myself. That was a mistake. So be it. Let's see. But yeah, you can have stuff like Caves of Cud, where the run is longer and like gets really deep into the nitty-gritty of the game and the experience. Like, that can work. That can work quite well, in my opinion. We go for that just for a little bit of a boost. Give self arcane shield. Priest isn't in danger. We don't have any more wisps. We're all good. Let's see. But here, especially when it's something that is so foundationally similar to Slay the Spire, there's a very real risk of being worse. And I recognize, like, that's not a fair comparison to make. You can't just say, like, this is worse than Slay the Spire. Because I actually think this has a lot of really good ideas that it is presenting here. I'm gonna do one of those, then burn the other one. I don't think we need more. I guess actually the alternative is I can just probably kill him at this point. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm just so focused on gaining as many stats as I possibly can. I'm not thinking about anything else. Let's see, sacrifice 9 will. 13 damage when Bert gives silvered. Volatile. By shackle, pocket, vulnerable. No, like, And I still have 2 more fights. And then we've got these, and it's fine. We're gonna see what the boss is. I'm gonna be obstinate here, even if it's very much doing everything that I do not want at the moment. Because, like, I like these story elements. I think they're cool. I really wish mysteries did not have enemies in them, because that means that we have another enemy to fight in here. And it's fine. It's just endless. Alright, let's do powers that be so I can burn some things. I can actually burn this one. He's got the head. Yeah, because eventually this guy is going to do some wrath. Okay, so we have Book of Prayer. Next card burnt is duplicated and added to the discard pile. Consume in Miracle. Okay, let's do Salt Prison. Burn that. I'm gonna do the Book of Prayer. And then I'm gonna burn Collect Yourself. Because that's actually a really good card. And then... do I take the damage? Nah, sorry, priest. I'd like to get him out, but I'm about to take 6 damage here. And I believe he gets a wrath for doing that. Nope, he didn't. Alright, that's confusing. Okay, so I'm actually gonna just burn that because it's not good and I don't like it.
Lend me your arcane might. Aid me in the battle.
Okay, so there's the priest. Burn, recite the passages. Burn, compel. Get the priest out. Arcane shield, self, should be good. Okay. Collect yourself. Oh, here we go. Powers that be. Oh, why is that collect yourself more expensive? Oh, because it doesn't upgrade. Duplicate the upgraded version? That must be it. Okay, we're not taking any damage here, so we could burn some of those.
This is the hour of our need.
Let's give him the bonus.
The hour of our dread. Our voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
And yeah, we want to start taking out this guy. I guess in retrospect, I shouldn't have bothered. He was about to lose his shield anyway. Or no, he's not. He's about to get more. Rude. Okay, so we have collect yourself twice. We do have salt prison. Okay, do we just keep reciting the passages? I guess I'm going to recite them on myself, because we could actually use that at this point. Burn that. Could have actually used that, maybe. But I think we can wait. Okay, salt prison. But 2 damage for each card in my hand. He is aiming at me a little bit. Oh. Could I actually kill him? No, I don't think so. Got him. Okay, never mind, we're fine. Yeah, the fact that the regular fights only give 1 faith is a little rough. Let's see. Like, I like the idea of going with miracles. Sure, I'll snag it. It's probably a terrible idea. Hasn't backfired on me yet. Do we go to Gideon? Sure. Okay. We're just going to remove some cards. I think we just get rid of the compels. I'm literally never going to use them. So, I will say the card removal is nice. I've picked up too many cards out of curiosity. That's fine, at least we have something new. Unless it's another fight. Nope. Okay, so we can get some more faith? Sure. Because, yeah, I don't want more cards. I don't need more cards. No. We're gonna go for the fast options. I really wish one of these would actually let me get some money. But I'm fine with also removing cards. Because at this point we can get rid of a number of these things. I think we get rid of Ring the Bell. In retrospect, ring the bell, I could have held on to. I forget what she does. She was the... Oh, right. She's the merchant that lets me buy relics. So this is the only way to get relics. Though, to be entirely honest, I'm not actually sure if any of these relics have been particularly amazing. So, what I like here is mostly just the cards have some very fun innate synergies to play around with. I guess I'll read this one. The building was nice even for the area, filled with apartments afforded decent views. Pretentious, expensive. It was completely dark, no lights in any windows. The main entry was left wide open, with no doorman in sight. Sensed a strong, infernal presence within. This building felt, more than anything, like an expensive tomb. I ventured within carefully. I was drawn to one apartment in particular. As completely dark and quiet as the others, its door was also wide open, like an invitation. Or a dare. Inside I heard something skitter in the shadows, like a rat sensing danger, only much bigger. Size of a man. It hid well in the dark room. My eyes had trouble adjusting. I squinted, trying to make out anything at all. After midnight, most of the lights in the building outside were dark. Shades of black on black. But whatever light bled through the apartment's round window caused something in the corner to shine. Eyes. There were eyes peering out at me in the dark. Reveal yourself, I commanded, sensing a demon behind those eyes. My command was met with a condescending chuckle. I am the beckoner of the dead and gone. Whatever had taken root behind the host's eyes had a voice like a violent song or a machine. It had a rhythm. I am carrion planted in salted soil, the entry said. I am a snake wrapped around the base of the wither tree, blooming bitter flowers. I stepped closer. Able to make out more shapes in the darkness. A bed, a dresser, the man in the corner. You like medlar jelly? The demon within the host asked me. Take the fruit and make us some. Demons often have strange intentions. I wasn't sure what this one wanted, but I knew it was malevolent. There was nothing but malevolence in the unyielding stare of the host. He crouched, his bright eyes as wide as planets, watching me fumble towards him. I watched as a smile formed in his eyes, upside down, above his eyes, upside down. Alright. Nice part is, we're fine. Okay. Hold up. I think we recite the passages, unholy bracers, burn God's hand, and give him shackle, because I'm probably going to take a hit here unless he debuffs me. Yep. Only 3 damage, though. Not so bad. Okay. So, powers that be. And we burn the other powers that be. Salt prison. Burn assault. Get the priest out, finally.
Mercy on us.
Burn salt. Gain collect yourself. Hold your ground.
Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
Book of Prayer into powers that be. Use salt prison. I'm going to burn... He's not going to hit me multiple times. I'm going to do an arcane chain, or shield, and then I'm going to salt the heck out of this guy. This is a durable dude, though. Okay, in retrospect, you can actually cycle these kind of quick. Okay, so we're burning St. Benedict's protection. Give him recite the passages. Burn God's hand, because we don't need it. Collect yourself. Do I do powers that be? I think so. Even if it's not the most practical here. We want to do recite the passages as much as we possibly can. Okay, and that's just fortify, so we don't need to worry about it. Powers that be into St. Benedict's protection. Do not you. Salt prison. Burn that. Hold your ground. Keep drawing cards. Burn powers that be. Into recite the prayers. Burn God's hand, because we don't need it. Do we do an arcane shield? I think so. Burn that just so I have a little bit more. Keep hitting him. Okay, it's shackling me. What is this? Unknown, but it looks gnarly. Okay, deals 3 light. Okay, so what is this one? That's pretty good. But we should probably do recite the passages again. I'm gonna keep giving it to my priest buddy. Give myself a bit of shield. Okay. Do that, so I start the next turn with full candles. Devouring Greed. When burned, gain 5 stacks of greed. So I'm assuming Mammon. Alright. So Mammon probably scales based off of how much greed I've scaled. Let's start with that. Recite the passages. Continuously boost friendo. Okay, do hold your ground. Reputation precedes me. We can also deal 7 light. He's doing a debuff, so actually we can do kind of whatever. Burn that. So we get a little bit of greed, which I'm sure makes him spookier. We just end turn. I don't necessarily know what his abilities do, based on how much greed I have. Draw 2 less cards. Oof. And then also vulnerable. Take more damage, and he's doing unknown. Well. Might as well give myself some shield. Burn these 2. So I can hold my ground. Powers that be again. Into... Burn that. Shackle him, just in case he hits me. And let's do and recite the passages. So I'm sure he does damage, probably based on how much greed I've got, correct? No. Alright, I can work with that. Kind of. Not easily, no, actually. Okay. This is just going to be filling my hand up. Luckily, the priest works really well for this. But do take some damage here. Yeah, so that duplicate ability seems to make it...
I call upon the ancient powers who lie dormant. Haru and Gunore.
There we go. That duplication book card that I have, Book of Prayer, I think makes it so that whatever the thing I duplicate is eternal, which is very goofy and kind of overpowered, but I like that. Okay, he isn't going to be hitting me. I guess I might as well heal myself here. And I think we just salt him a bunch. Because, yeah, my priest is hitting for 8 with every salt that I chuck. Or really any card that I play. Okay, do we even bother with recite the passages at this point? I kind of don't really feel like it. Let's heal up a bit. Powers that be. Burn devouring greed. Collect yourself. Burn that. Let's see. Do a recitation. Burn the shield. Salt prison. I mean, I might as well burn both of these. Even if it's a little inefficient. I guess... Heal up, burn that. Because here's the thing, Salt. Okay, do we have anything else? Burn that. Toss these. Shield self, burn that. And expel Mammon. So I'm pretty sure now he's going to do damage based on how much greed I have. Probably. Okay, it's fine. Give him Wrath. Burn God's Hand. Salt Prison. Reputation Perceived. Salt. Arcane Shield. Wait, no, there's no reason why I should be doing Arcane Shield. And let's just keep hitting him. Because yeah, 25 shields is a little bit chunky to get through. But I'm not too worried about it. Powers that be. Collect yourself. Reputation that precedes. Recite the passages. Keep going. He's not going to be hurting me here. So I can kind of do whatever I want. Hold your ground. Heal up a smidge. Arcane Shield. Salt Prison. Arcane Shield again. Might as well do St. Benedict's Protection. Heal up further. Burn God's Hand, so I got some juice for the next turn. Though I guess we don't need it because we're about to win. Because we're chucking the Super Priest at them. Get poped.
Ends here.
Now, is that the end of a run? Okay, so no, that was actually the end of run. Okay, cool. That was still too long. Okay. So here's the problem. And Summerfall, I mean zero disrespect with any of this. I actually really like where this game is going, but this was too long. Like, very much. 2 hours is, I mean, it's saying 2 hours 45 minutes, but that's because I stepped away for 45 minutes. I think this is roughly about just shy of a 2 hour long run, but that is too long. Slay the Spire runs in general go somewhere between 50 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. That's a good sweet spot. Longer than that starts to feel like it's dragging on a little bit. Secondarily, there's only one act, which is, I think, a problem. You know, that was the only boss. Okay, do we have anything else? Is that it? Yeah, so that seems to be it. If I do this, what happens next? Is it just kind of do that run again and nothing more?
This is no ordinary city.
We've already seen this cinematic. There's the angel again. Okay. So it's just kind of loop. I'm sure there's more they could say within that, but once again looks like escape the stacks. So, okay. Big problem is this is early access, so it's kind of difficult to say like what this is going to be like when it comes out. One thing I would say is there are too many things that cost faith and not enough things that actually give meaningful amounts of faith. Each of these regular fights only giving 10, each of these giving 30. Like, yeah, you can farm up enough, but I definitely didn't really feel like I had enough money to buy enough. I mostly just culled my deck and that was it. Which was fine. I had a very strong combo and some a very strong bug on my side to make this easier, but even then, like, to get a single upgrade, I would have to fight 2 regular demons or 6 lesser demons or some combination within. Which means that I would have to do 1, 2, 3, then talk to an angel. 1, 2, 3, talk to an angel. So the problem is, angel, fight. You know, I'm only going to get 20 currency out of this. Then I'm going to spend currency here. Then I'm going to spend currency here. Oops, nope, not worth it. Okay, I guess I got to go this direction. I don't really want to talk to Lydia, but that's the only one that is efficient. I think one of the big things I would say is I really wish each one of these gave you a freebie instead. Like, the first one is free, and then you can pay more for more. So it's like, oh, this guy removes 1 card for free, but if you want to pay remove another card, it's 50, and then it's just 50 afterwards or something like that. You know, for her, maybe instead of anything being free, well, no, actually, I think it should be free. If only because there's no treasure chest here either. Like, I only had 1 relic that entire run, which is the starting relic, which is too limiting. I don't know. It's one of those where the core combat system, like when I'm in combat, I'm enjoying myself. But the moment I get out to this map, I'm like, I've seen this and done this 1,000 times before, and I'm not enjoying this. Because Slay the Spire has done it before, and so many roguelike deck builders that have come after have done this exact same format. And many have done it better, I would say. I brought up Balatro earlier, but Monster Train is another good example of throwing you into a fight and then giving you multiple options to upgrade and change your build before throwing you into the next one, and has a much better sense and feeling of scalability. Here, because it is following the Slay the Spire format, but not actually bringing anything new, and in fact, it actually gives you less. There are no campfires for you to just upgrade at. There are no chests to give you a free relic. Sure, there are shops that give you both of those things, but while this does give you more opportunities for card removals than Slay the Spire, kind of, sort of, that's it. It gives you less upgrades and less relics, and that means that your build is entirely determined by the cards you have, which means that thin decking is pretty much your only good option, and to thin deck around like one or two particularly busted combos. The other thing is, I didn't see a whole lot of things that really made me run out and like want to switch my build around. There are a couple I'm like, oh, what does Oath do? Oh, it's stinky, I don't want that. You know, I guess you could use it to have like Wisps tank hits for you. Like there are some builds that I could see working, but none of them were like super duper exciting. And so while I had fun for this singular run that I did, I don't think I'd want to play another one anytime soon. And so, yeah, I'll probably come back to this one 1.0, but it's... the thing that makes roguelike deck builders, and roguelikes in general, sing, is the sheer amount of lateral width packed into a relatively short playtime. And this one is kind of the reverse, that there's not a whole lot of lateral width, and it's super freaking tall for a single... even for a single run. For a single act, it was longer than the whole run of Slay the Spire. And if there is another act past this one, or two, then this needs to go full campaign mode, you know, Griftland style, where you have kind of actual characters and dialogue, and it's a whole self-contained story, and then you just pack a couple of different ones in. I think that could actually work very well for this. There has not been a good Griftland style game, and... well, Griftland style game since Griftlands, and also I feel like that would make better use of David Gator's, you know, writing, because after a certain point, I just didn't care anymore writing-wise, because it wasn't telling a story. It was each and every one of these is a small vignette, but it's a small vignette that doesn't, you know, it tells kind of the story of the demon and what it's like, and I think that's cool, but I had to go through so many of them that I was starting to hate it. Not because the writing was bad, but because it was just, there was so much of it and I wanted the run to be over. And so, once again, like, I think a shorter, more cyclical format would work, or a more structured story mode would work. But I think the Slay the Spire map and format is really kneecapping this game at its weakest point, and that is a problem. I could keep going on and on about this. Like, Summerfall, if you do actually watch this video and listen to this, send me an email, and I will probably be able to articulate better as to why this is further an issue, or feel free to ignore me. You know, this is what you want to do. That's totally fine too. Oof, this rat is rough. It's just like 6 things in a row, and it's all fights. I'd be fine, get you a ton of currency. And that is one thing to note, is that like in Slay the Spire, you actually do want to go to as many mystery points, bonfires, or chests as you possibly can, while going to as few fights as you want to. In this one, you want to go to as many fights as possible. So, you know, 1, 2, well, okay, 10, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, spend 40, 50, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, question mark, 140, 150, buy 2 upgrades. Like, that's so rough. That's so stingy. That's how many fights you have to go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is more fights than you go through in like a regular Slay the Spire run. And so it makes sense if this singular act is a standalone run in general. But that's so much. That's a lot to put people through. And once again, you see repeats, and that doesn't feel good. I would much rather only see I would rather only see 20% of what the game has to offer on every single run rather than nearly 100%. Because if you see everything in one run, why would you ever want to come back and play another unless the game really grabs you that much? Whereas if there's still mysteries to be, you know, played out or new fights to surprise you and interest you, then it feels that much better. I don't know. My bugbear, I'm staring at it in the face. I love it though, like the production quality, the writing, the music, the card combos, and even the setting is different and delightful. It just needs a lot of overhauling to feel actually good and comparable to other greats in the genre. Anyway, with all those gripes aside, I just need to dump feedback because this is one of those games that I want to love and I want to really enjoy it when it comes out in 1.0, and I know if it's left as its current state, it's just going to be a mid-roguelike deck builder, and I don't like the idea of that. Luckily, it's build 0.1, so they've got a long way to go to hopefully, you know, polish some of the rough spots and overhaul the parts that really don't work. Anyway, I might as well mention that Malys is available now on Steam, so if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. Despite my gripes, it's a pretty solid vertical slice. A solid, if tall, vertical slice of what this game could be. And I'm sincerely hoping that, you know, they can polish it up and really bring it to being something worth playing and fun. Because, yeah, once again, they make good games. This is a good game. It's just comparison is the thief of joy. And God, there's so many roguelike deck builders to sneak in and steal as much joy as they can from this game. Not even intentionally, it's just there's so many there. Anyway. Guess with all that said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I've got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.